Let's get back to the big story, right? This is Operation Sindur. Several airlines have announced diversion and routes avoiding Pakistani airspace. My colleague Shireen is joining us from Delhi. Shireen, good morning.
Morning, Prashant. Well, of course, a lot of this is in developing stages at this point in time. But what we do know, and it is important to put perspective on this because several developments have actually taken place. There is Operation Sindur, which is the operation that happened overnight. But even prior to that, there was a note to aviation companies, to airlines, to airport infrastructure in relation to the drills that are going to be underway over today and tomorrow. And of course, there are also Air Force exercises and the Air Force had also put out a statement. So all of that must also be seen in conjunction with the developments that have happened overnight. So what it essentially means is that there will, as a first order impact, there will be disruptions as far as airline travel is concerned. So you've already started to see airlines put out on their websites, on their social media handles about disruptions, about delays and so on and so forth. So be prepared for that. Now, in terms of airport infrastructure, airports like Srinagar, Amritsar, Dharamshala, Leh, these at this point in time are shut for any civilian purposes, and that is the information that we're getting. Of course, we are expecting the Aviation Ministry to put out an update shortly. Perhaps there will be an interaction as well that will give us clarity on what this also means. Because remember, Pakistan had already shut its airspace. So what you had started to see was that Indian airlines like Air India, Indigo, etc. were no longer flying over Pakistan airspace. But what we'd also started to see over the last 48 hours was that even European carriers like Lufthansa, Swiss, even the Middle East carriers were then avoiding Pakistan airspace, which had meant longer air travel. But with this escalation that's happened overnight, what this is going to mean, in terms of flight and travel plans is going to be a question. We've started to see advisories come in. UK has issued an advisory cautioning people about travel. So we will perhaps start to see that play itself out as well. But outside of travel, crucial meetings to watch out for. There is going to be a cabinet meeting in a short while from now. There is going to be a Cabinet Committee of Security meeting as well. So we will perhaps get more appropriate response in terms of what we should expect as the next steps. Meanwhile, the Pakistan side is also issuing statements. Of course, we must clarify unequivocally. This is information that the government of India has put out, as well as the Ministry of Defence has very clearly refuted, calling the Pakistan claims of shooting down Indian Air Force planes as false, as fabricated, as fake. So that is very important. In fact, we've seen Pakistan government officials and ministers going on the air and repeating that claim. So it's important to note that that is being rubbished by the Indian defence establishment as well as by the Indian government. There is, as you can see on your screens, a fact check that's been put out. So it's important to clarify that. But today is also the day that we will see those civil preparedness drills across the country. And of course, our colleagues are going to be targeting that. And that is going to be an important aspect of the Indian response. Important to also highlight, and this is something that the former Army Chief General Malik told us here on CNBC-TV18, that while, whatever happens at the borders happens, what we must also be mindful of are cyber attacks, and specifically cyber attacks on critical installations in India, on business houses and so on and so forth. And so we are in touch with the government to try and understand what is happening on that front, because that is going to be an equally important aspect as part of the current operation that's underway. So far, we're still awaiting a response on whether we've seen an escalation as far as cyber attacks and cyber threat is concerned from Pakistan. Reactions already coming in from the US. You've seen President Trump react to this in the Oval Office. You've also seen Secretary Rubio saying that he's been in dialogue with both sides, India and Pakistan, and they're hoping that this matter ends quickly, in the words of President Trump. We've seen other governments react as well. Israel coming out very strongly in support of India. The Chinese have issued a statement just a few moments ago asking for restraint. Also important to note that there is going to be a very crucial meeting of the IMF. The IMF meets on the 9th to take stock of the bailout package for Pakistan. So that's going to be another very crucial meeting to watch out for. But a lot of moving pieces at this point in time, but there are crucial meetings lined up, and of course there are these drills that are going to be underway across the country, and we'll keep you posted on all of that.
Absolutely. Very, very helpful context, Shireen, and we'll keep coming back to you as developments play out and sort of news keeps coming in. So important to track.